Has a bull trap been set? Let's do our daily SPY analysis and find out. Again, welcome back to Carnivore Trades. Today is Tuesday, January 21st, 2025. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Let's get into it here. So market's up 1% on the day, so a pretty strong rally. And is this little higher high a possible bull trap here with the slight peak above? Really on SPY, you can see it more closely. 602.48 closed to 603.05. So a slight higher high here. We did actually break out of this downsloping trend line late last week. We'll just remove that for now. I don't want to make things too confusing here. But markets here, again, peaking above this all-time high trend line. And let's just take a look at the charts. So we talked about this yesterday in the Sunday night video. I said bears need to do damage today. And obviously the answer is no, they did not do that. So right now it's going to be really tough for them. You're going to really have to get it done by tomorrow. And I don't know what you can do here because you've got, you're going to have to get like a 70, 80 point down day to, 603. You're looking at, you're going to have to get 8 points down on SPY to get us to 595. And we talked about that dealer level yesterday. And you can see if I show you here, you're kind of, you're well above that. I'm sure these will get adjusted, I'm sure, by the bell or afterwards. We'll take the look at the after hours prints. But either way, it's going to take a pretty big move here. And we're coming into some strong seasonality too. I've been in the case here for quite a while that don't rule out new highs. And we're now 50 points away from that on SPX. Right now, unless you come in tomorrow hard, I don't really think that we're not going to make new highs. So the longer that we hold above, I told you guys like 60-30-ish last week, the longer we kind of hold above that area, the harder it's going to be for, the more of a magnet is going to come up to new and fresh highs. This is a major resistance, right? We just cleared it. We gapped above it. Same thing on SPY here. We gapped above it, sliced a little bit below, and then bounced right back up and closed above, really all these levels here. So we're now inside of that FOMC breakdown. So anybody who went short here is now essentially underwater, or at least they've given back everything. So that's 3 weeks of bears being in control, and they've got nothing to show for it right now. So this is why I say, especially in that market, take profits level to level. Do not get greedy. And, bears, this is why squeezes happen, because they always overstay their welcome. They don't close at the lows, and this is what happens here. So markets, they're kind of poised for a push to new highs here. Could this get dangerous? Let's just say, when's the next period where we could see some danger if it doesn't come in tomorrow? I'd say probably starting in Feb, really. I don't really think we're in any sort of problems, having any immediate danger here unless they can do something tomorrow. But we would be looking at probably like 6150, maybe 6180 is kind of your first like big area of resistance here on SPX. And it was a strong day too, 415 advancers. So that's a good day there. And, all I heard about for weeks and months was the breadth that means that we're going into a new bear market. It's a new bear market, Aaron. It's all over with. Oh, Aaron, IWM's got a bear flag, and I told you not to trust that. Look, 4 months here. You got to learn how to read charts. You can't just look at one thing. You got to look at what you're going into. 4 months of 4 months of consolidation here and higher lows. That's accumulation, right? That it's not just going to break down after 3 weeks. And you see that 200 moving average retest, beautiful outside move. Where did we go? The second we break 225, where are we going, guys? 230. And it took 1 day to do that. So watch these things, give you guys these levels perfectly, and still people tend to disagree, but that's kind of the nature of markets. People love the selling and they love the fear. But anyway, Q's up 3 points here today. 525 is still a little bit of a level. Still got to get through that. And then I can go to 530. Let's talk about Apple, though. I told you guys about this dealer level here at 220. I think that's it. I think we hit it already. I know we hit it already, and I think that's the low for now. They do have earnings coming up next week. So anything can happen between now and then. It could bounce up and then it could come down, afterwards. But I think this is probably a local low here. just based on what I'm seeing. You got a beautiful 618 from the August low. What I like is that you didn't hit the 200 moving average, and the reason why I like that is because I think retail looks at this and they're all waiting to buy that 200, and a lot of the time you get the rug pull, you get them left at the altar. Very good uptick in volume too. Almost 100 million shares on Apple. That's quite a bit. And there's been other instances where this happened before, where you have this kind of corrective period. We got close to the 200 here, rallied like 15, 20 points. Is pretty big for Apple, back when it was a $160 stock. Then it came down for the 200 afterward, right? And then it took off. So it's kind of similar here. I think it's a similar setup. And I think 230, 235 could be targets on the upside. I don't care. It's getting downgraded by all these rating agencies. Is it possible that those rating agencies missed this whole move up and now they want to buy it back? I think it's very likely, because that's usually how Wall Street works. But in any case, Apple acting well today, or excuse me, acting well off the lows at our level. It reacted well, I should say, was down. And NVIDIA, the other stock we talked about, again, trying to get through that 140 area. I want to talk about SMH as well. That's a higher high. So that is a higher high, and again, SMH is well above the December 18th breakdown. That's bullish. Don't bet against that. Weekly time frame is starting to look pretty solid. So again, semis are strong. Don't bet against the market. IGV, again, we talked about the negation of the head and shoulders. That was up again today. A little bit of a pivot here at like 102.50, 103, and then 104, 106, obviously. But just real quick too, I know I'm bouncing around here, but going back to the SPX, so this is why you just move the trend line, right? So we had it down here, and we saw that reaction, said, okay, that's where the market's respecting. Now you just have a third hit of a trend line, and this can go up and make new highs. By the way, we pointed this out on YM too. Very like, does this look like a chart you want to be short? Same thing, even the Russell, right? This doesn't look like, I don't even know if, let me get my other, you can just draw it right through here, right there. So these are, this is just TA 101 here. Transports today had a nice pop, again, above the 16.6 area. I'd like to see a weekly close above 16.7 to kind of slam the door. But you got a failed inside bar on the daily, and it's working on the weekly right now as well. So transport's pretty strong. Flipping over to rates. Again, weakness in rates is going to give strength to equities. Right, 5s, 10s, 30s, all down. So there might be a little bit of a bounce here for 30s, but I'm expecting like right in this area. 4.65, 4.7, 10s, 4.55 or so. And speaking of, let's just get it out of the way, the dollar. So every dollar, finally, this is pure technical damage here. So there's just no way around that. So we've lost that uptrend. And it doesn't mean it's like going to crash, but it means you lost that technical uptrend. So 107 and then 106.50 are your next levels if 108 can't hold. And so 108, you got this pivot right there, boom, right into that right now. That is also helpful to emerging markets. And I think like the Hong Kong looks good here. I like how we came back and back checked to this trend line again. We have technically a lower low here on the daily, but notice how it didn't come back down for that lower trend line. That usually tells you, okay, sellers are starting to lose momentum. This is getting ready to break out of this range. So I think emerging markets, China specifically, looking a little bit more firm here. What also is looking more firm here is housing. XHB, again, that's above our resistance right now. And if we can break back above, close above 112.78, that negates the FOMC breakdown. VNQ, almost 2%. That's a huge move for VNQ. 92 is your clear resistance. So we talked about that, the 85 level, and it held perfectly right there, and then right above that. So good move for VNQ. Financials also strong here today. By the way, speaking of financials, I was thinking about earnings. Netflix 9.85, and I should have just held the core position since that 650 entry I had earlier last year. But I called this for fundamental reasons too, but look at this move here in Netflix. It's going to 1,000. But anyway, XLF here up 42 cents. You know, fins at or near all-time highs. It's the sign of health, right? KRE higher high, got a clear 64. Mentioned that this could go higher after 2 days of consolidation. That's exactly what happened. And the same thing with KBE. Broker dealers new all-time highs. Oil backing off here, down 2% on the day. And, you know, it's overbought, needed to pull back. Where did it stop? 75 exactly. So we kind of figured that would be a little bit of support here. It could still be down tomorrow, but that's just a short-term level. XLE took a breather, which we expected as well. And now we just wait on pattern there. If that consolidates sideways beneath 94, it's going higher. Same thing with XOP. Still got a lot of resistance up at 150 though. And then OIH actually scratched out a gain here. That is trying to get through the 200 moving average, which has not been since August 1st. CCJ with a nice bid here, so that's holding that 48 handle. It needs to. Buyers want to see a higher high above 56. NM and NJ are holding on as well, but again, need to see those higher highs to confirm a reversal. Nat gas down. So it's still holding the daily 20. I've not touched this. It's way too volatile right now. I'll just leave it there. We talked about the dollar, technical breakdown there. Gold very strong on the day. Silver strong. So up 1.36. These are basing. Platinum maybe starting to curl up as well. Through 1,000, it can start to really catch back up. And then palladium, I like the inside bar here after the falling wedge break. So this can push through 10.15, 10.20. I think it can go really maybe towards 10.50, 10.75. So these are finally starting to turn around and firm up here. Copper backed off today, but again, held our support right now. So dollar backing off has lots of implications, obviously. I don't know where to start with crypto. I will be talking with Josh from Crypto Fundamentals tomorrow at 5 o'clock on Twitter Spaces. You guys want to check that out. So we'll get a little bit more in depth into where we're specifically going to talk about the mania that's going on right now. But Bitcoin, let's just cover Bitcoin for right now. Holding up, so we broke above 100K, and it's getting held as support, right? So it's holding as support. Maybe a little bit more basing. I think this can go higher. Really across the board, things holding up here. Yeah, I mean, Solana, obviously, 240 is a big area. If we look at the weekly, you can see it's kind of important. Even like 250, it's a big psychological area to get through. But it's basing there. I don't know if they have it up here. This is the right one. Yeah, so there's official. So is it back to 47? Last I checked. I know they were getting. I know this in Melania got another bounce today. It's starting to curl back up here. I don't even like this is so ridiculous to do TA on something that's been alive for 3 days, but yeah, I mean this is what part of the cycle do you think we're in, guys? I'll say that. Well, we'll talk a little bit more about it tomorrow. If you want to tune into Twitter Spaces, I'll be posting it. So, but anyway, yeah, Bitcoin's fine. 100K support right now. So spiders here are fine. Bears, if you're gonna look for a bull trap, it's gonna be right here or at 615. That's kind of my take right now. 605 is short-term resistance here for SPY going into the end of the week, but that's it. So I think markets are healthy outside of that. But anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here. Again, you guys take care. Go find me on carnivoretrades.com. See you guys all tomorrow.